Welcome to Left Undone, Incomplete Investigations. I'm Kathryn. Welcome, everyone. Today is episode 4 of the Crime of the Day. I want to do updates today. First update I want to do is on Crime of the Day, episode 1, the New Zealand children found in dead bodies in the suitcases. And then the second one I want to talk about is a little statement by Kiely Rodni's family, which is heartbreaking, and the fact that it was definitely confirmed that it was Kiely Rodni in the car. And then I want to talk a little bit about missing 22-year-old Jolissa Fuentes in Selma, California. So welcome to Left Undone, Incomplete Investigations. If you're new here, please consider subscribing to my channel. If you enjoy this episode, please give it a like. And if you do subscribe, ring that bell for notifications so you know every time I post one of these crime of the days or anything else that we follow. And if you want to get caught up on the Lori Vallow Daybell case, check out my podcast on the podcast platform. It's called Afterglow, Unveiling the Idaho Cult. It is all about the Lori Vallow Daybell case, and we dig deep. So there was a little update on the bodies that were found in New Zealand in the suitcase that we talked about on Crime of the Day, episode 1. The South Korean police say they believe a possible relative of the 2 children whose bodies were found in suitcases in New Zealand last week is likely in South Korea. Immigration records show that the unidentified woman in her 40s arrived in South Korea in 2018. But there has been no record of her departure since, said Park Sung-hoon, an official at the National Police Agency in Seoul. Park said South Korean police have conveyed the information to New Zealand police after receiving a request for investigative help. But South Korean police currently have no authority to track down the woman's whereabouts or detain her, as she remains a New Zealand citizen, possibly linked to a crime that happened in New Zealand, Park said. It would be difficult for South Korean police to pursue her unless New Zealand officially requests for her extradition, which may happen if the investigation proceeds to a point where Interpol places a red notice against her, Park said. The woman was born in South Korea and later moved to New Zealand, where she gained citizenship. New Zealand police suspect the woman could be the mother of the children found dead, as her past address in New Zealand was registered to a storage unit where the suitcase were being kept for years, according to Park. The remains of the children were found last week in suitcases a New Zealand family purchased from an online auction. That auction involved abandoned goods. The children were between 5 and 10 years old and had been dead for a number of years. And the suitcases had been kept in storage for at least 3 or 4 years. Detective Inspector Tilifu Famaluvilua, and I don't pronounce names like that well at all, but you can see it's on the screen. Police have been checking hours of CCTV footage, but key moments could have already been erased due to the delay between the victims died and the discovery of the bodies. Both storage unit and property where the suitcases were taken have been thoroughly examined by forensic experts. Authorities in New Zealand reiterated last week that the family who found the bodies were not connected to the homicide. They're receiving support to help deal with the trauma, officials say at this time. Oh, I'm sure they're so traumatized. I would be completely traumatized. Oh, that's just so horrible. So this woman just killed her children, put them in a suitcase. I mean, I'm assuming, I'm speculating right now, and then flew off to South Korea to live for the last few years, even though she's a New Zealand citizen, and never came back. Looks a little suspicious to me. Crazy story. I want to keep updated on that one because I think that's really interesting, and I'd like to see what winds up happening in the end there. Poor children. My goodness. Awful. And then the other update I wanted to share with you is, I'm going to pop it up here on the screen for you, the statement right here for immediate release from Kiely Rodni, Truckee, California, family statement regarding Kiely May Rodni. For immediate release, Truckee, California, August 22nd, 2022. Friends, family, law enforcement, media, and our global community, we're eternally grateful for the love and support you have shown us in the last couple of weeks. We have weathered a storm of unfathomable force, and it's purely thanks to the army of warriors, matriarchs, healers, and helpers holding us up that we continue to stand today. Mr. Rogers famously told a story of looking for the helpers whenever he saw scary things in the news. We have not had to look for helpers, as you have all come to our rescue in full force. We are forever indebted to you. While we accept the sadness cast underneath death's shadow, the rising sun shines light upon us, reminding us not to mourn our loss, but to celebrate Kiely's spirit and the gift that we all received in knowing her. Kiely will surely remain with us, even though we will not get her back. There are certain occasions when words fail. Perhaps this is why our human nature has given us art, dance, and music, which all are often more effective ways to connect us to each other and to our rawest emotions. Kindly excuse us as we retreat and dance privately to life's song while we celebrate our daughter's spirit and heal our souls. In gratitude, the Rodni family. On the Placer County Sheriff's Office Facebook page today, they did confirm the identity of Kiely Rodni was the descendant in the car when they pulled her car out. They have confirmed that by autopsy today. It says today an autopsy was conducted on the deceased individual who was found in the Prosser Reservoir on Sunday, August 21st. The Nevada County Sheriff's Coroner has identified the descendant as 16-year-old Kiely Rodni of Truckee. The Placer County Sheriff's Office and the Nevada County Sheriff's Office are in communication with Kiely's family and offer our deepest condolences to them during this extremely difficult time. This is an ongoing investigation and no other information is available at this time. Now remember, everybody's still saying they're still suspicious and stuff, which indeed it was an accident, a terrible accident, but a minor child was intoxicated. So, of course, this is an open investigation. If they find out that there were drug dealers there and they can pinpoint who they are, who was providing drugs, if she had toxicology, if her toxicology reports come back and show she had, heroin, meth, fentanyl, something like that in her system, and they are able to investigate that there was somebody that provided this for her, that definitely would be considered a crime. So we'll keep you posted on the Kiely Rodni case. And yes, it was a terrible, in my opinion, it was a terrible, terrible accident, but somebody should not, absolutely should not have been providing minors alcohol or drugs at that party, minors with cars. But I've said that, and I'm going to move on at this point from there. It's just heartbreaking and devastating. Her poor family. I mean, it's just way horribly sad. 16 is so young. And then the last thing I wanted to share today is about the Jolissa Fuentes case. This is the case that Adventures with Purpose said they were going to next. Selma, California is where this is located. It is near Fresno, California, so central inland California. It's about 5 hours from me, and I think it's about 4 hours from where Kiely disappeared. So it's kind of in the middle of where I am and where Kiely was. And I live in the Southern California desert. Selma, California, Fox 26, we are going to find Miss Fuentes. I don't know how long it's going to take, but we are going to find her, said Selma Chief Rudy Alcaraz during a news conference Monday afternoon. Police did update, and they did do a press conference, and I can put the link in the show notes below here. But on August 11th, the phone company was able to track down a ping near the area of Pine Flat and Avocado Lake. Jolissa Fuentes, 22, was last seen on surveillance video at Selma, California gas station around 4 a.m. on August 7th. Her family is desperate for answers. I do have a little bit of, if someone had posted and kind of slowed it down, her last known camera video when she was at the convenience store, the gas station. But she stopped at the gas station to purchase snacks on her way home, according to her parents. Apparently, she was out at a party that morning. She was last seen in her silver Hyundai. Jolissa's mom, Norma Nunez, said that those 2 weeks have been the worst feeling in the world. She said that her daughter left a party to go home, stopped at a gas station for a snack. She called her sister at 3:59 a.m., but Jolissa's sister was sleeping, and now Jolissa is missing. Surveillance footage captured Jolissa at the AM/PM gas station making a purchase at 4 a.m. and then getting back into her vehicle. Authorities believe Jolissa traveled through Sanger after leaving the store and may have traveled towards Pine Flat and Avocado Lake, which is now where the search is concentrated. Jolissa called her sister again at 5:24 and 5:25 a.m., which, according to the woman's father, Joey Fuentes, was her last known activity. Her phone had since gone silent. There is a GoFundMe to fund efforts to bring Jolissa home, and her mother and father are very upset. They said, please bring my baby girl home back to us. The fund has raised more than $10,000. Selma is located about 16 miles south of Fresno, California. To this point, it is very rare that a 22-year-old girl has no digital footprint, cell phone, social media, bank cards, things of that nature, Police Chief Rudy Alcaraz said. He did do a update on the case, and there is a press conference that I can link below. He said on Monday that because this is not normal behavior for the woman, authorities are treating her case as being criminal in nature. It is believed that Jolissa may have gone to the area near Pine Flat and Avocado Lake. Now, this area, Kings River and all that, we used to camp there when I was a teenager. So I'm kind of familiar with the area. It's very Central California, river, trees, I mean, it's farmland, it's hot this time of year. Police continue to scour the area and have spent 288 hours searching the week since her disappearance. They use off-road vehicles. They have covered 1,740 ground miles, and they said, we're doing all we can with the resources we have. He did describe the area as enormous and said that authorities continue to use cell phone powered triangulation to refine the search area. The police chief also said that his force has been impacted by COVID, which continues to be a hindrance to us at times. Patrol officers are being pulled to help address any tips that come in. He also said that the police department continues to follow various leads on the case. There have been volunteers coming to assist. Jolissa's disappeared a day after Kiely Rodni disappeared near we know where Kiely disappeared near the reservoir in Truckee, California, which is 300 miles north. So they do mention that Adventures with Purpose, an Oregon-based volunteer diving search team, they did find Kiely's vehicle in the water. They are going to help assist with this. The volunteer search team, which includes Doug Bishop and Nick Wren, will now turn their efforts towards Jolissa's case, and they did announce that Monday. We'll be taking the next 2 days to properly debrief, decompress, and prepare for our next case, which is 22-year-old Jolissa Fuentes in Selma, California, said Bishop. And I am just so impressed with Adventures with Purpose. I found them a couple years back, and I've been watching them, and I think they're amazing what they do. And they deserve all the kudos and all the donations that they could get. So authorities are continuing to search for a 2011 silver Hyundai with a license plate 8MPU766. The vehicle is also missing. Anyone with information is urged to contact the Selma Police Department at 559-891-2252. So that's where we're at on the Left Undone Crime of the Day episode. I have had a crazy, exhausting day. Like I said, I'm leaving next week for my trip. My dog had surgery today. My poor little Yorkie. Yorkies, I guess, have really bad teeth, and she's 9. So they had to extract 5, and she still needs more extracted. So I'm trying to get her to rest. Percy, my pug, is going crazy because Lulu was gone all day, and I worked. And so I wanted to squeeze this in because I do want to keep this updated as much as possible, but I do want to give you a heads up, those that are following the crime of the day. I will be gone on vacation from September 1st through the 12th, and I probably won't start posting again until that following weekend after I get home, because I'm going to have to catch up and work at stuff. But until then, I'm still here as much as I possibly can, as much time as I have. I'm still trying to pack for my trip, and I am going to Greece. So if anybody wants to follow my travels to the Greek islands, go join my other channel, which is my travel channel, and it is called Beyond the Empty Nest. You can subscribe over there and see what we do in Greece, because I'm super excited. I love to travel. It's my favorite thing in the world. It's my happy place for sure. Seeing the world is just my goal in life. Too bad I can't retire, because if I could retire right now, I would be everywhere and anywhere. So again, I appreciate you all. If you're new, please consider subscribing. We do have a membership here at Left Undone, which gets you into our Discord channel where we talk about all things true crime. We have channels for every single one of the cases we follow, and we've made an amazing community. Very friendly, welcoming, great people in there. So thanks again. Stay safe, stay well, and I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.